you can look for in the chat today. And then make sure you make sure you connect with each other, but also that you connect with the speakers that are going to be on today. So Sheila, I think, is going to jump on and talk a little bit about a technology side.
Hi, good morning. This is Sheila Colum, and I think Jessica kind of talked about chat already. If you are having any trouble with sound, hopefully you can read the screen telling you to check your system settings, or you can text our helpline for it's on the screen. And then you can also just control a little bit of how your display looks depending on what kind of device you're on. If you're on a phone, you probably don't have much choice, but if you are on a computer, you can change how many of the video screens you see of all our shining faces with the icons right at the top of the video screens. So let's get going because we have great information for you today from Abby and our companies.
Awesome. Sheila, is the PowerPoint moving forward today?
Oh my goodness, yes.
Thank you.
Interesting. How about that?
There we go. That's much better. Thank you. And I think, Sheila, you're going to be going out to Facebook Live here in just a minute as well. We're working on that. So if you are watching and you want to help get the word out to your friends and let people know what we're trying to do here, all of us probably right now know somebody that's looking for a new job. And so we're going to be loading this live on Facebook here in a minute. And if you want to follow our Facebook page, you can Facebook Live and do a watch party from that event. We would really appreciate that. We are doing our best to get our messages out to so many people that are in career transition right now. So we just went live on Facebook. So if you are with us on Facebook, we would love to have that. Again, let me just say one more time for the people that are being added right now. Go into the chat box, open up your chat box, which is on the bottom of your screen. We're going to be doing a lot of connecting that way and providing resources, and tell us where you're calling in from and your target industry and job. Hi, Alan from California, formerly Peoria. Good morning. We have Central Phoenix here, Diane. Good morning, Diane. So lots of great people jumping in. Jason, good morning. Tootie, I love that name. Good morning. Welcome, Lori. So a lot of you coming into this morning. Thank you. Thank you for dropping in the chat box. So to get started, what we're going to do this morning is you're going to get to hear from Abby Kohut, who I'm so excited for you guys. She's going to do your 2020 career thrive rather than survive. Abby and I have a great story together, and we just kind of feel like we've closing the loop again. We started in the middle of the recession 10, 11 years ago, and we are back working together again. So I'm so honored to have her with us today. And then you're going to hear Robin from Honor Health and Danielle from State Farm. And then the last few minutes, I encourage you to stay on the line for that until the end. We'll be done around 10:30 or so, because we have a lot of resources. We have a great event coming up I'm going to tell you guys about with many companies that are hiring. We have a way for you to meet with a career coach. We have lots more content that's coming out and tons of resources. So we will talk all about that at the end of the day today. All right, so I am going to bring Abby on the line, and oh shoot, give me just 1 second because my screen shut down and I need to pull up, shoot, pull up Abby's bio here. Not sure what, there we go. Okay, sorry about that little glitch this morning. Okay, so Abby Kohut is known in the job search world as Absolutely Abby because she tells the absolute truth about the job search process. In the past 25 years, Abby has held corporate recruiting positions in a variety of industries and is responsible for helping 10,000 people get hired. Her website, absolutelyabby.com, which was selected as one of the top 100 websites for your career by Forbes, teaches candidates secrets, the absolute truth about the job search process that other recruiters won't tell you. Absolutelyabby.com was mentioned on CNBC as one of the top three websites for career changers, and CNBC published an article naming Abby as a top career coach and recruiter. She's one of the top 100 influential people online, according to the Fast Company magazine, and is known as Ask Abby on LinkedIn. And since 2012, Abby has been on a mission to help 1 million job seekers, and she is driven around the US in an RV in order to accomplish that goal. Her job search adventures were covered in several nationwide TV and radio networks: Fox, SiriusXM, NBC, Bloomberg, LinkedIn, The Ladders, etc. Abby employs lighthearted humor to help her job seekers understand what they need to learn. So please help me welcome our good friend, Absolutely Abby. Good morning.
Thank you, Jessica. It's really good to be back with everybody in Phoenix and sitting in my house in New Jersey. That's
Love
really
it.
cool. It's awesome. It's really awesome. I love this. Anyway, so we have a nice presentation for all of you today, and I'm going to move to my first slide eventually. It worked a minute ago. Okay, it's not working. So, oh, there it is. I found it. But it's not working. It's not working. Do you guys want to advance the slides for me? Thank you. Okay, you can move to the next slide.
Go ahead and try again, Abby.
All right. Oh, there it goes. All right, so thank you for the formal bio, but let me tell you all what I'm really all about. I've been a corporate recruiter for 25 years, and along the way, I've hired about 10,000 people. And the reason it bothers me is because I wasn't able to tell people the absolute truth. Because as a recruiter, we're told to just kind of give you general information about why you didn't get the job. And that really frustrated me because I'm a person that loves to help people. And I wasn't able to do that. So eventually in 2009, I started a website called absolutelyabby.com. And there is when I really started to go and help job seekers figure out the absolute truth about the job search process. So there we go. It's working. It's just a little slow. Okay. So there's my website there. I'm also on a mission to help 1 million job seekers, and that's because I felt like I had rejected 1 million job seekers, so I thought now what I would do is help 1 million job seekers. And as Jessica mentioned, I did drive around in this RV for, let's see, 3.5 years. And I drove all over the country. This is the United States map, so I went to 35 states, and I visited Phoenix, I would say like 3 or 4 times. So it's been a wonderful journey. But eventually what happened is I came back to New Jersey and I decided to go back to doing recruiting again. And I did that and everything was going well until COVID. So I'd like to mention to all of you that I'm in the same boat that all of you presumably are, which is I am a job seeker, just like all of you. So if that helps you to understand that I understand what you're going through, I understand what you're going through. I've been a job seeker since about, I'd say April 1st. So it's been a couple of months and a little bit scary, but I'm hanging in there just like all of you are. And I'm going to talk about some of the things that I've done to not be in a very bad way. So hopefully you'll learn some of these things. So one of the things that I did is I started helping job seekers during COVID-19 with my career wake-up calls. So since 2009, I've been doing these career question and answer calls every like couple of months. And I started doing them more like every couple of days. So I'm doing them like every 10 days or so. And some of you have probably even been on those calls. And if you have, why don't you put in the chat that you've been on the calls and what you think of them to let everybody know about them. So what I want to do today is I want to tell you how to get access to my slides before we get going. So I have something called a resource guide. And what it is it's a COVID-19 specific resource guide that will help you with your job search during COVID-19. And one of the things that you'll find are these slides. So a lot of people ask me for my slides, and you don't need my slides. What you need is what's in the slides. So in the resource guide, you will have all the different slides that I have here. All the information that's here is in the resource guide. Also in the resource guide is a website that lists companies that are hiring, freezing, and doing layoffs, and they keep it up to date. It's a very good website. There's also unemployment information in there. There's also information for self-employed and consultants and work-at-home websites. Now, I am a person who's a contract recruiter. What that means is I work in HR and I work for different companies and then I leave. So I come and I go. So I'm always looking for a new job. There's a website called Virtual Vocations. If someone could put that in the chat, that would be good. Virtual Vocations. So if you go to Virtual Vocations, you'll probably find the best online work-at-home jobs. And you can find things that might be in Arizona, and you might end up going back to work eventually. But they are work-at-home jobs primarily, and they cost about $20 a month for the site. So I would go check that out. In my resource guide, though, there are a lot of other websites that you can get for work-at-home opportunities. So, but I wanted you to know about Virtual Vocations. Also, we have volunteer opportunities, lots of them. And we have networking templates, which we're going to go over today during this presentation. So, I'm going to tell you this at the end, but I wanted to tell you this at the beginning in case anybody has to leave. I want to give you access to the resource guide. It's completely free, and I'd like you to share it with anybody you'd like to. And the way to get it is to send an email to me at join@absolutelyabby.com. So it's on the screen right now. It's also in the chat. And if you look at my picture on the screen, I put it in my picture. So there's no reason why you will not have it. I want you to email me to get the resource guide. What happens is it bounces back automatically and you'll have it. And when you get into that email, I will also invite you to my career wake-up calls, the question and answer calls that I have every 10 days so that you can answer, so I can answer your questions beyond today. Because today you're gonna have great questions, but then tomorrow I'm not gonna be in Arizona. So this is my way of staying in touch with everybody around the country without being physically there, is I have these Q&A calls. Everybody really enjoys them, and I'd like to invite you to all of them. The next one I think is going to be on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, I think, but not guaranteed. All right. So let's start off with this slide, which is about things that you can and cannot control. So things you cannot control are if others follow the rules of social distancing, the actions of others, predicting what will happen, other people's motives, how long this will last, and how others react. And most importantly, you cannot control the amount of toilet paper in the supermarket. And I'm here to tell you there is actually toilet paper in the supermarket, at least in New Jersey. I think we're okay with the toilet paper. But anyway, things that you can control, your positive attitude, how you follow CDC's recommendations, turning off the news, finding fun things to do at home, limiting your own social media, your own social distancing, and kindness and grace, everybody. You can control how kind and graceful you are. And this is what I really want you to do. I want you to be kind and graceful to everybody that you meet. And don't worry about things you can't control, because you can't control them. All right. So what problem that we all have that's equal to or larger than COVID-19? And I believe that is fear. Most of you out there think that there are no jobs out there, or at least you did at the beginning of COVID-19. Maybe you know at this point that there are jobs out there, but at the beginning of when I started doing these career wake-up calls for COVID, people were totally afraid that there were no jobs out there. And I'm here to tell you there are plenty of jobs out there. This makes no sense because we just laid off like 1/3 of the workforce. So it makes sense that we would not have any jobs available, right? But the truth is that there are jobs available. They're just not jobs in those companies. So it's very, very important that you realize that they're out there. This fear thing, I mean, it started for me back in about March when I started fearing that my contract was going to end. And I was worried and worried and worried, and I was very depressed and crying and like all this stuff until I realized that there were other things I could do about it. And once I started doing other things, I got over it and I moved on. So we're going to talk about the other things that I've been doing to get through this time of no employment. one thing that you can do that will help you find jobs that are hiring now is to put these phrases in your searches. So the phrase currently hiring, the phrase hiring now, the phrase not on hold, the phrase filling immediately or immediate need. And if you can think of another term, great. But what you have to do is you have to put these in your search with quotes around them. If you put in immediate need in there without the quotes, it's not going to work, because it's going to pull up things that have the word immediate in it and things that have the word need in it. You need it to pull up things that have the word immediate need. Okay? So in Indeed, for example, you put in your search term like purchasing agent and put in immediate need in quotes next to it and see if that helps you find companies that are looking now. I know that ZipRecruiter in particular allows us, as recruiters, when we post ads, ZipRecruiter actually asks us, is this a job with an immediate need? And we can check off a box. So ZipRecruiter is doing a really good job with this. I don't know if Indeed is, I don't know if anybody else is, but I know that Zip is. So definitely check ZipRecruiter for job postings. All right, and the other thing is, if any company is searching for a recruiter, you can be sure that they are going to be growing. Nobody would hire a recruiter if they weren't going to be growing. No one would hire a trainer if they weren't going to be growing. So you should definitely search the boards for recruiting postings. And once you find recruiting postings, then go back and look at their website and see what their jobs are that are open. Okay, so on my Career Wake Up Call, we get a lot of information. We have a chat box, and people will send us things that they want us to share with everybody else. So I'm sharing something that someone put in the chat box. He said that he was calling his creditors and saying, I lost my job. And one of them told him a secret that you should say, I have no income due to the coronavirus, in exact quotes. I have no income due to the coronavirus. And then he said that there are policies in place to help you if you say just those words. So try that out. This is my first motivational quote of the day. It's from Charles Darwin. It says, it is not the strongest or the most intelligent who will survive, but those who can best manage change. That is so true, I can't even tell you. It really is. Managing change is definitely what we have to do. And the fact that you all came to a Zoom call means you are definitely managing change, because you used to go to these live events. But you are on a Zoom call or you're on Facebook Live watching this. And that means you're already managing change. So congratulations for you. Continue to manage your change. Okay. The next thing I want to tell you is there are a lot of you out there. So I believe in our Zoom call today, we have 100+ people. And what that means is there's a lot of competition looking for the same jobs that you are. Now, this was the same thing that was going on in 2009, 10, 11, 12, and 13, I would say. And then all of a sudden things got better, but now we're back to where we were. So what's really important is that you refresh your resume. And I would do it on Sunday nights. And this means going into wherever your resume is posted, take it down and put it back up. What that does is it puts it back to the top so that when recruiters come in on Monday, they think that your resume just got put up. And that will get you seen by way more recruiters if you do that. Okay, so that is refreshing your resume. All right, next thing is you must send cover letters. So I'm telling you that this is the easiest thing to do in order to get noticed. It's the easiest thing to do, but it's the thing most people are not doing. And it's because on LinkedIn, for example, it doesn't say, please include a resume and a cover letter. It says, please include a resume. That's what you do. But the thing is, if you include a cover letter with your resume, you will stand out in the crowd. So what I would recommend that you do is take your cover letter, paste it on the bottom of your resume, make it the 3rd or 4th page, and then put it in. I would also put the word cover letter and resume on the top of your resume so that people know to look for the cover letter. Okay, The other thing I wanted to tell you, let's for a show of hands, and you can put the thumbprint up if you know how to do that. How many of you like to write cover letters? Let's see. All right, I can't even see how many there are, honestly, because I have it set up so I only see 3 people. I see Sheila, Jessica, and myself, so I can't see the thumbs. Some of you put in yes, that's great. Okay, I'm gonna guess that only 3 of you actually like writing cover letters, maybe 5, maybe 10. There's 100 of you. So how would you like it if I helped you write a cover letter? Would that help you? Would it be helpful if a recruiter that does this for a living for 25 years helped you with a cover letter template to tell you what to put in a cover letter? Would that help you? Yes, I'm answering my own question. It will help you. So what I would like you to do is I'd like you to get the resource guide that I mentioned earlier. It's in the resource guide, okay? So that's where the cover letter is. Plus what I did is, so I put in my cover letter template. It's the template that I've used to get all of my jobs. I also put in 2 other cover letters that got people jobs. One of them is a graphic designer at CBS. I did a stint at CBS last summer, and this graphic designer wrote to me. She was living in Pennsylvania, and she wanted a job in New York City. And the hiring manager did not want to bring her in, but when she read the cover letter, she said, okay. And she was really nervous about this. She didn't think the person was going to relocate. It was so many things. But at the end of the day, this candidate got the job. And it was because she wrote a brilliant cover letter. I pasted that cover letter in my resource guide for you. I also pasted another really good cover letter from somebody that got hired as a sourcer buyer kind of a person. And she was at a pharmaceutical company I was working for. And she sent this cover letter, and I remember she talked about money, money, money. And she was talking about the fact that in her regular life, she was someone that was negotiating all the time. So this was a natural fit for her to be in this position. And therefore, she sent this cover letter, and I thought it was brilliant. So I walked it over to the CFO, and we only interviewed 2 people. We interviewed her and 1 other, and we gave her the job, and she did really well in that position. So I gave you 3 cover letters in the resource guide that will help you write cover letters. I hope you like them. Okay. So now I want to talk about video interviews. The reason I want to talk about it is because you are going to have a video interview. Even if COVID-19 goes completely away, you're going to have video interviews. I think that companies are getting used to this, and they're liking it, and it saves everybody time and money. So why not keep it going? So please get good at video interviews. Let me give you a couple of tips. The first one is you have to find a quiet, private, well-lit place. Now, when I say well-lit, if you look around the Zoom call, you can see who's well-lit and who's not. If you look at mine, I'm looking at myself to see if I have any shadows today. Nope, I don't have any shadows. So I have light that's facing me directly, and you're going to try not to have any shadows. That's what the well-lit is about. You have to have light facing you, and it doesn't matter whether it's daylight or evening, just have light on you, and you won't have shadows. And then you have to make sure that adults don't interrupt your interview, and make sure that your kids don't jump on your lap. So what happened was I was interviewing somebody, and they were sitting in their car, and they told me they were sitting in their car because they have a 1.5-year-old, and they didn't want the 1.5-year-old to wake up from their nap. So it's perfectly fine for you to tell your interviewer why you're sitting in your car. Totally fine. Then there was somebody, oh, and also pets. Make sure your dog and your cat doesn't jump on your lap. There was someone I was interviewing, and he had noisy birds in his location. And they were so loud, I was completely distracted, so I asked him if he could please go inside. So birds can be distracting as well. Okay. You don't want to drink or eat during your interview, just like you don't want to do it in a live interview. You don't want to do it in a video interview. It's okay to do it on a Zoom call like this. Like if you go to meetings like this, that's totally fine. You want to test your web connection, your camera, and your audio before. So if they let you into the Zoom call before the time that it's scheduled, I would go there early. I would get there like 10 minutes early just to test everything out. You want to have a professional background. So a lot of you, I can't see right now, but there are virtual backgrounds that Zoom gives you. And what I would say to that is, I would say 50% of the world thinks that they are really awesome and cool. And that's me. I love them. I think they're awesome and cool. However, there are 50% of the rest of the world out there that think that they are unprofessional or silly. So I would not use a virtual background when you're doing an interview. I think you should just go with a regular background. So regular background is one that has a nice blank wall behind you. If you're going to have things in the background, make sure that they're professional looking. So make sure you don't have beer bottles, for example, on your wall, right? So professional looking. I'm looking at Jessica. Look at Jessica's background. Look at Abby's background. Look at my background. Look at Sheila's. Professional looking. Those are 3 perfect backgrounds for all of you to see. So model that. And you know, if you can't, just find a way to do it in a professional way. You might have to do it on your phone if you don't have anywhere in your house to do it. So, but just find a way to have a professional background and make sure it's well lit. And talking about dress code, this is something that many people have arguments about, but you're in Phoenix, many of you are. I don't know what all of you are because some of you are not in Phoenix, but let's say we're talking just to Phoenix. So in New Jersey, I tell everybody they should wear a suit, even though they're at home. It just makes a better impression when you show up to an interview in a suit. Now, Phoenix is hot, so I'm not sure that a suit is really necessary. What I would do is I would say to a recruiter, if I wore a suit, would I be overdressed? And see what they say. And then consider what they say. If you ask Google this question, they will tell you, yes, you will be overdressed and you won't get the job if you wear a suit to Google. So you really have to be careful about this. Another thing, this is a little tip that I love to tell people. If you wear the color of the swatch of the color of the company's logo, the company will feel that you're on their same team. So if you're interviewing at Target, wear red. If you're interviewing at Walmart, wear blue. Don't wear the opposite or you'll be seen as the enemy. Okay, the other thing is to have your resume on the screen, not on your desk. I'm going to show you what it looks like if you have it on your desk. So this would be where I keep it on my desk. And this is how it would look. I would be doing this, and then I'd be doing this. And I'd be doing this, and I'd be doing this. That's not a good idea. So what you do is you put your resume on the screen and you just, if you want to look at it, this is how it looks. You can see the difference, right? So I'm looking down quickly, but I'm not looking like this. So resume on the screen is much better. And also, don't look at the interviewer. It's so hard when you're having an interview on Zoom. You really want to look at the interviewer because that's what you do in person. But when you're looking at the interviewer, you're not looking at the camera. So one idea is to take a picture of your child or your spouse or someone or something that you love and put it on your camera. So you feel like you're actually talking to a human being. But definitely look at the camera. That's what I'm doing today, is I'm looking at the camera and I'm not looking at my slides. It's really hard because I really want to look down at my slides, but I can't because I know that's going to make me look like I'm looking down. So look at the camera. And also very important is body language. So a couple of things. If you want to make a gesture, you have to do it up here because let me show you. I'm gesturing right now and you have no idea. You can't see it because it's down on my lap. If you want to gesture, you have to do it up here. Okay? Also, the other thing that you want to do is mirror the person that's talking. So if somebody is talking really, really loudly, you want to talk really loudly. If somebody's talking quietly, you want to talk quietly. If somebody is gesturing a lot, you want to do a lot of gestures. And if they're not, you want to do the opposite. You want to have no gestures. Now, this is better and easier in a live interview. than Zoom. And eventually you're going to get to the live interview. So I'm just telling you about it now, and you can work on it and get better at it by practicing on your family. Because this is called mirroring. The first time you try it, it might look like you're actually mocking them. So try it out on your family. And if your family doesn't say, "What are you doing?" then you're probably doing it fine. Okay, the other thing is to place your phone in silent mode or just turn it off. It's very distracting when it buzzes. At least I found that for myself. Turn off your ceiling fan. This was yesterday. I was on a Zoom call and there were 2 people with a ceiling fan and it was very distracting. So if you have a ceiling fan, I know it's going to kill you in Arizona to be hot. I know, but just keep it off for an hour. That would be really good. And last but not least, and probably the most important thing, is to wear pants. Remember to wear pants, you guys. Just don't forget that. Don't forget that. All right. So on my career wake-up call, I asked people, what do they do? I did it one time. I asked people, what do you do to stay consistent, to remind yourself to continue this job search? This is what I got. So one person said that he sets and achieves one goal each day. It's either a job search goal or personal goal. Someone else said they reward themselves when they complete a project. Now for me, when I do something that I really didn't feel like doing, like if I drink my vitamin shake in the morning, which is really gross, I will watch an episode of The Brady Bunch to reward myself because I love The Brady Bunch and it will motivate me to finish my vitamin shake. It's true. All right. Some people say they get dressed in the morning, they shower. Some people say they do job search activities from 9 to 1 and then don't do any in the afternoon. And some people schedule a calendar time for follow-up to remind themselves to do that. Everybody has daily and weekly to-do lists. I think that's great. I have them too. Some people have a job search buddy. So what this is you find somebody that's looking for the exact same job that you're looking for by posting it in the chat and asking them if they want to be your job search buddy. Or you can find somebody who's doing the complete opposite that you're doing and ask them if they want to be your job search buddy. Either one is fine. And or you can have an accountability group, which would be like 4 or 5 people that meet once a week just to stay accountable to each other. But these are ways to motivate yourself to keep consistent. And just remember that every no is one step closer to a yes. In fact, if you took a piece of paper and you put 100 marks and you said, you know what, I might have to interview with 100 people before I get my job, which is probably a lot. You're probably not going to have to do that. But let's say 100. Every time you get a no, you check it off. And that makes you feel better because you know you're getting closer to that yes. Another motivational quote, also highly contagious, is kindness, patience, love, enthusiasm, and a positive attitude. Don't wait to catch it from others. Be the carrier. Remember, all these are in my resource guide. I have 2 scripts for you that will help you. One is about polite persistence, and I'm going to read it to you. This is also in the resource guide. It says, I'm writing this note, dear X, I'm writing this note to tell you that I'm thinking about you and your business, and I'm sending my wishes that you are both well. I was very interested in the finance position before COVID-19, and that hasn't changed. I look forward to reconnecting with you when life gets back to normal. So as a recruiter, I constantly have people writing to me, asking me what's going on because I left them hanging in April. We almost hired 10 people and I couldn't hire them. So they're following up with me, and that's totally fine. So it's totally fine to write to people that haven't told you, no, we're not interested, to ask them if they're still interested. Totally fine. And this is a little letter you can use. And this is a networking note you can use. It seems very strange for me to be writing to you today in an effort to network with you in these challenging times, but I believe that paying it forward is key. I have been recently displaced due to COVID-19. So first, is there any way that I can help you? I have lots of free time now, so please just ask. Secondly, can you recommend someone in your network that might need to hire a finance professional? I would certainly appreciate any recommendations or referrals. I will continue to keep you and your business in my thoughts. Please do take care. This networking note, I gave this to somebody that I did a career consultation with, and she sent it out to 12 people and got 12 positive responses. So when I say this works, I have proof this works. It's in the resource guide. Get the resource guide. You'll have this in addition to the cover letters. All right, let's talk about some ways to pay it forward. First of all, connect people to help each other. So what that means is every time you meet somebody, you introduce them to somebody that will help them. I do this all the time very naturally, but this is something you can develop a habit with. And paying it forward is a great thing, and we'll talk about that at the end of this slide. Being a good listener, people are going through some hard times. Make sure that you're listening to what they're saying. Shopping for older neighbors is a good idea. Setting up video chat for people, that they'd be so grateful for you to do if you do that. Posting positive, helpful, or funny messages on Facebook. Oh my goodness, Facebook has become so negative and political. If you can do something to post positive messages and funny messages, again, boy, that would really help a lot of people. There's also a group called COVID-19 Humor. If you want to laugh every day and take your gloomy mood away, if you ever have a gloomy mood, join this group, COVID-19 Humor, and you will laugh hysterically. There are really good things in there, and they're not very political. Or they're not political at all. They tend to throw people out that do political things in there. COVID-19 Humor. All right. The other thing is there are a lot of parents that are homeschooling their kids. So if you can offer to read stories to their kids, they would be, I'm sure, grateful. Writing LinkedIn recommendations can help people. Reviewing people's resumes, doing mock interviews, all of these things are great ways to pay it forward. Paying it forward means basically helping other people without worrying about whether they're helping you. So there's a movie, we'll get there. So you can cook a meal or thank a first responder. That's another great thing too. There's a movie, it's called Pay It Forward, and I really recommend that you all see it at some point. It's great. So what it is somebody gives somebody a car as a gesture, just to pay it forward, and tells that person that in order to keep that car, they have to pay it forward to 3 other people with a similar crazy gift like that. And the person eventually does, and everybody ends up paying it forward, and it makes it around the world, and the whole world changes because of this movie. So I'm definitely believing that if all of us watched Pay It Forward and started to pay it forward, we could change the world. I wonder why this movie didn't change the world, because it really should have. Okay, here's another quote. You'll love this. Don't lose hope. When the sun comes down, the stars come out. I love that one. Okay, next we're going to talk about thinking outside the box, my favorite topic. So why do you have to think outside the box, you wonder? Well, some of you, your industry may have gone upside down. So like oil and gas, for example, not a great industry to be in right now. Retail, not a great industry to be in right now. It depends what your industry is as to whether it's going to recover. So you may need to change industries. You may need to change jobs, all kinds of things. You may just need to think outside the box. And that is kind of what happened to me, because I lost my opportunity to do recruiting in the month of April, May, and June. I've definitely had to seriously think outside the box to try to figure out how to earn a living. And it's been hard. It's really been hard, but I have managed to figure out some ideas. But I'm going to tell you some ideas to just kind of open your mind up, just to see if you can be interested in any of these things. But the best way to do this first is to think about, what was it like the last time you were living your passion? Now, some of you are going to say it was when I was a child, and that's okay. It doesn't matter when it was, but you have to go back to the time when you were living your passion. And that's the time when you were really, really happy with your career, even if your career was happening when you were 7 years old, that's okay. But that's a great way. It's a glimpse into where you should be going. So I believe this, that most people are not clear about what they want. And once you figure out what you want, it tends to show up. So I'm definitely proving that for myself. The one thing you can do is you can become a coach. Now, there are a lot of people on this call that are career coaches, and I'm not talking about career coaches. I'm talking about other kinds of coaches. So this man, Mark Lyons, is a gardening coach. He was doing gardening for all of his friends and family just for fun. And then one day he lost his job and he realized that maybe what he should do is start charging for it. And so he did, and now he's doing gardening coaching full-time from Chicago. So it's anything that you do, whatever it is that you do that you like to teach people, that's what you would become a coach in. And you don't have to get a certification to be a coach. You just have to say, I'm a coach. And then you have to learn how to coach. So you might go to classes to learn how to do it, or you might follow other coaches, or there's a lot of ways to become a coach. But I've been doing coaching for I don't know how long, and I have not been certified. So you don't have to be certified. You have to just be good at what you do. You have to be good at what you're coaching in. And Mark is really good at teaching people how to grow enormous vegetables. Enormous. All right. And there's another person who became a single dad's coach. That's another one. Anyway, this consulting right now is a great thing to do. And that's why Virtual Vocations is a great site to be in, because you will find temporary part-time consulting opportunities in there. And consulting is definitely, I think, the way that the world is probably going to go. I think it's it's going to grow, definitely going to grow. So getting into consulting and contracting will be a good thing for you. Other people have written books. That's another good thing. Okay, here are some creative ways to earn $50,000. So if you want to earn $100,000, you're just going to double these things. But let's go for $50,000. You get one company to pay you $50,000. You get two companies to pay you $25,000. You get 5 companies to pay you $10,000 each. Or you get 10 companies or people to pay you $5,000 each. Now, the way you'd get the people is you'd be a coach. So let's say you're a gardening coach and your fee is $5,000. You only have to find 10 people to give you $5,000 and you're at $50,000. You can get 25 companies to pay you $2,000 if your fees are lower. Or you could get 50 people to pay you $1,000 each, right? That's a reasonable amount for a coach. You can also get 500 people to pay you $100 each, right? So there's some things that I do that cost $100, and I've definitely had this situation happen where I've had a couple hundred people give me $100. And that's the way, if I need to earn money, I go develop a new product and charge $100 for it if I want to. Or I develop another product and it's only $10. So I do webinars and teleseminars and I get 5,000 people to sign up and I have $50,000. So just think creatively and you can do this. Just don't only go for one company that's going to give you $50,000. All right. The next thing I want you to know is a lot of you are sitting out there thinking, Abby, it's way too late. I'm 65 years old. I'm not changing careers right now. I can't. There's no way I can do it. I'm here to tell you it's completely not true. You can do it. So I'm going to share with you a couple of people that did. So Julia Child was a copywriter for a furniture company, and she also wrote articles for Food Magazine. And she became Julia Child later in life. I believe it was in her 40s or 50s. And then Joy Behar also became Joy Behar on The View much later in life. She was in her 50s. She was an English teacher before that. Here's a fun story about Walt Disney. This is a guy who was very persistent, and I just put him in here because I love his story. He was fired for lack of creativity from a newspaper. Walt Disney was fired for a lack of creativity from a newspaper. And then he went to 300 banks to get Walt Disney World approved. Can you believe that? Can you imagine being the 301st bank? Like, I can't even imagine what kind of celebration he had. So this is a guy who knew what he wanted and persisted and got it done. And this one, since you all think that it's too late, Grandma Moses was an embroiderer and a candlestick maker. When she was 77, her husband passed away. And she also developed arthritis because she was doing so much embroidery. She picked up a paintbrush and decided to start painting. At 77, you would not know Grandma Moses before that. So if any of you are under the age of 77, you're still going to be okay. Just do it. Now, this is really important. If you're going to just do it, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to fail. It's part of life. And you have to laugh at yourself. So my first mistake that I made most recently that I have to laugh at is I did a Facebook Live. And I did it, I don't know, a couple of months ago. And I did it horizontally. So I was looking like this the whole time. Can you see this? I was looking like this. For 15 minutes, I was talking to people horizontally. I couldn't see it. I didn't know it was happening. It drove me crazy. But at the end of the day, I knew that I had to try it again. So fail forward fast if you're going to try something new. It is hilarious, Lauren. Thank you for saying that. It really was hilarious. All right. So my next fail forward fast, I think I have the wrong slide. Hang on a second. Yep. So, yep, let me go back. So what happened was I was out of work and I decided that I wanted to try something completely new. I decided that I wanted to interview people from Shark Tank because I love talking to people that overcame obstacles, because I'm a girl that has overcame many obstacles in my life. Many, I'd be here for another hour talking about them. But I love people that overcome obstacles. So I wanted to meet people that overcome obstacles that got on Shark Tank. And so I reached out to this guy. His name is Robbie Cabral, and he invented a lock that you could open with your thumbprint. And I asked him if I could interview him on a new show called Persistentpreneurs. And he said, okay. And I was like, seriously? I mean, you don't even know me. It was amazing. He said, okay. So I did. So this is the show. And we had 122 people show up on my Persistentpreneurs show on May 19th. And this is what it looked like. And it went so well that I've lined up at least, I've lined up 3 more people for 3 more shows as of yesterday. And the next show is going to be on Thursday. And here it is. So it's episode 2, Thursday at 5 p.m. Arizona time. And I would love to invite all of you. Not only would I like to invite all of you, I would like to ask all of you to please join us. Even if you don't think you're interested, I promise you that these people are going to talk about things that will help you with your job search, because I'm going to tell them to do that. So they're going to talk about ways to be persistent in your job search. And I really, really would love it if you guys could come, because I want to get them a nice big audience. So all you have to do, thank you, you love Shark Tank, Rob, that's great. So you have to go to this link. It's absolutelyabby.com/show. Or you can go to Persistentpreneurs. That's fine too. Either one. You'll get registered. You'll get to listen to this, and you'll hear about it. So these guys are from SandCloud. They invented a towel that that people can use on the beach. That's very different, very unique. And they're also giving back to the marine life. So they helped a nonprofit rescue seals. That's why I love them. Is they give back 10% of their profits to rescue animals. And I love animals, so I love these people. So please, 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 please join me on that show. I would really love it. Okay. Oops. All right. And there we go. Okay, so I'd like to leave you with a top 10 list. And I'll tell you why at the end. My top 10 list is this: I'm alive. 2, I'm healthy. 3, I have supportive family. 4, I have wonderful friends. 5, I have an awesome business partner. 6, I have meals to eat. 7, I have a place to live. 8, I own a car. 9, I love watching animals. 10, I get to recreate my career if I want to. This is my top 10 list. What I would recommend for all of you is to create your own top 10 list and look at it every night before you go to sleep and every morning when you wake up. It'll put you in the right frame of mind, because if all you're thinking about is, I don't have a job, that's not going to help. Okay, closing thoughts. Everyone's stress level is high. Please be forgiving. Network like crazy using Zoom. So please don't just network in Arizona, network all over the country. There's so many job search groups for you. Take a class, learn a language, reconnect with your friends that you haven't seen in years. Only watch or listen to the news for 30 minutes a day. And honestly, I really want to change this. It really shouldn't be 10 minutes a day. 30 minutes is way too much to listen to the news. It's depressing. Okay, shower, shave, walk, exercise, meditate. Do something physical to get going, and help your fellow neighbor. Watch Pay It Forward. And I will say that we will get through this together. We have gotten through this. Believe me, we're already on the opening phases in New Jersey. So we will get through this together, and we have. It's great. My last quote is, whatever you have, your skills, your love, your joy, your ingenuity, your ability to do things, please show it now. Do not try to save it for another lifetime. Okay, just to remind you how I can help you in the future, because I'm going to not be in Arizona as of 5 minutes from now. So I'd love to help you in the future. I want you to get this 26-page resource guide. Send an email to join@absolutelyabby.com. It will bounce right back to you, and then I will get you on my career wake-up calls, and I'll be able to answer your questions from now until forever. And well, maybe not forever, but until I stop doing them, which will be a long time from now. So I really do want to support you after today. All right, and thank you, Lauren, I'm glad. Okay, so then the next thing I wanted to say, oops. People ask me how they can help me all the time, and you can help me, but I can also help you in another way. I'm looking for people that might want to help me. One of the things that I'm doing a part-time job selling PPE, which are masks and coveralls and gloves and all that stuff. And I hate cold calling. I hate it like more than anything. So I'm willing to give some of my commission away to those of you that are willing to help me generate a warm lead. And if you'd like to learn more about that, I'd like to talk to you on the phone. And the best way to get me on the phone is to get on my calendar. So I put my calendar right here. It's absolutelyabby.com/schedule, and I'll put it in the chat box as soon as I'm done. And please join me and help me get some PPE into the hands of hospitals and nurses that really need it. Thank you, guys.
Hey, Abby, thank you so much. I have a couple questions. We have a few minutes, so I have a couple questions I want to ask here.
All right.
Some people are asking about, do you have any guidance if they're not sure what job or industry to go after? Like, what are some steps they could take to start to search that, figure that out?
Okay, so I have a friend who does something called the Multiple Natures Test, and you may want to do that. The reason I started Persistentpreneurs is because I took her test, and it gave me some insight about my personality, and it's something that I've always wanted to do for years and years and years, and I just kept burying it under the carpet. And now that I had nothing, I had no income, I needed to start something. And Persistentpreneurs is not giving me any income, but it might in the future. So it's called Multiple Natures, and if you would like, I can introduce you to my friend. So just send an email to me and I will happily introduce you to her.
Yeah, great. And that's is it multiplenatures.com?
That's the name of the test. I don't know if that's yeah.
Okay, so we'd have to just Google that. Okay, but whoever's interested in that can just shoot you an email and you can do an introduction. Awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. All right. Julia, did you see any other questions come through? There was a lot of chat. I didn't maybe not catch them all. You're on mute.
Sorry. No, I think we got everything answered, and we've put up Abby's contact information, her LinkedIn, promoted her email. So.
Abby, well, thank you. Thank you so much. If you just want to scroll through the chat and see if there's anything you want to add, or if you want to put an additional URL or anything, that would be great. We know you have to step off after that. But thank you. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome, guys. So really, seriously, I'd love to pay you a little bit of commission if you want to help me with this cold calling thing. And you don't have to cold call, by the way. So what you have to do is just make introductions to people you normally talk to. So like if you go to the coffee house, ask them if they have PPE. It's very simple. So, but to make it easy, just get on a call with me. I have a 15-minute call window on my calendar, and I'll tell you all about it. So it won't be scary, I promise.
Thank you. Thanks for that opportunity. Awesome. Sure. We are now going to transition over to our hiring companies. We'll have 2 speakers today, and then for about 10 minutes each, and then I'll close it out at the end with a lot of resources for you guys. So first I'd like to welcome Robin Ersland. She is with Honor Health. She's a talent acquisition marketing specialist with over a decade of healthcare recruitment and employee engagement experience. She specializes in building relationships with healthcare professionals and strategically forming talent pipelines for future workforce needs. She enjoys meeting new community members, learning about their career aspirations, and sharing Honor Health's career potential. Researching new marketing trends, spending time with family and friends, along with outdoor activities is Robin's favorite moments to enjoy. She's been a great advocate for Career Connectors and all the people that we serve. So Robin, thank you for being here today.
Hey, thank you, Jessica, for the wonderful intro. I'm excited to be able to connect with everyone today, answer questions, share information about Honor Health. You know, Abby, your content that you shared was wonderful and such excellent tips to be able to help folks that, you know, maybe just want to make a career switch, or someone who's really, you know, experienced, you know, any type of, you know, career modifications, potential layoffs, and needing to kind of see maybe what may be new to them out there in the marketplace. Yeah, so Sheila, I just want to make sure if I have the mouse connection. Oh, Sheila, I think you may be on mute.
You should have the mouse. Go ahead.
Do I have the mouse? Okay. All right. Let's see. Here we go. Yay. All right. All right. So Honor Health, I'll go ahead and go to the next slide, just because some of you who have been here in the Valley may be familiar with the Honor Health as being a large healthcare organization here. We've got our main sites, our medical centers, I should say, that's in the Phoenix area and also the Scottsdale area, along with a big group of medical office practices. So within Honor Health, we have about 12,000 employees now, and a large following also of volunteers, as well as also we have community programs. It could be our NOAA, you know, teams, which stands for Neighborhood Outreach, Access to Health, and also our Desert Mission, you know, kind of food bank and networks to be able to help folks from the community aspect. So Honor Health is a large organization here. It means we've got lots of different types of career, you know, opportunities. So I'll be happy to kind of go through, you know, some of that with you today, and I'll do my best to kind of keep up with folks that may be on the chat, but I appreciate the help and support kind of from the Career Connectors team, you know, on there as well. All right, so as I said, you know, Honor Health, if you'd like to learn a bit more about the organization, you can certainly head over to honorhealth.com, which is more the company website, for you to kind of learn a little bit more about locations and services and any information that you'd like to know about the organization. I've listed here just obviously some things that are very valuable to us, which is our mission and our vision, and also our iCare values. So, you know, Honor Health is a company that does our best to strive every day to, whether if it's our, you know, internal employees that we're taking care of, our customers, and certainly our patients, you know, out there, to be able to express our iCare values, which I've listed there: the innovation, collaboration, accountability, respect, and empathy. And those are also qualities that we really look for when we are kind of going through the interview process with individuals too. All right, so next slide. All right, so here's some of our locations, because as I meet with people in the community and we have different discussions, sometimes, you know, folks I realize may not quite know where we have our locations at and which facilities may be in Honor Health. So I know now this is a busy map, but just to share with you all the different medical center names that we have out there. So the Deer Valley Hospital in North Phoenix, and then John C. Lincoln, which is more in the Sunny Slope, Phoenix area, as well as also over on the Scottsdale side, we've got the Thompson Peak Hospital in North Scottsdale, the Osborne Medical Center, which is in South Scottsdale, and then also our Shea Medical Center, which is in Scottsdale. Now, some of you may be familiar and have seen some the Sonoran Crossing Medical Center, and that's soon going to be our 6th hospital medical center location. That's the one that you see when you're heading north on the 17, kind of up by the Carefree Highway. So that one is kind of in construction mode right now, and they're building. And as far as I know, I think for right now, they may be looking at opening that facility, I think later this fall, possibly into, the winter time. So certainly there will be some more opportunities growing there for that campus in the near future, for us. But primary care, locations, which means there's great different career opportunities for folks who may be more in the medical, office setting, to where maybe could the medical assistants, registration, schedulers, those types of roles are all throughout the valley that you can kind of see here on the map here. All right, and next slide. All right. So to talk a little bit more and to highlight information about the benefits that Honor Health would offer someone, we certainly have a wide variety of different types of options for you and also for your family needs. So one wonderful, way of being able to obtain great benefits is, to work for a healthcare company, because obviously we can be able to leverage our own internal providers and services, as well as also kind of help, share those, great rates, as well as also we've got a wonderful tuition assistance program. So we're very fortunate that we'd be one of the employers to be able to provide individuals, as long as you've been here first with us for 6 months, and you're also in a part-time or a full-time position, you can also, certainly apply for reimbursement or even some upfront payment programs for up to $5,250 per calendar year. So that's certainly obviously a nice, wonderful benefit. So if someone wants to come aboard with us, and if they're still pursuing some educational opportunities, or if they want to start, a program. So that's something that's wonderful along the benefit lines Honor Health would offer. As well as also our 403B plan, college savings plan, definitely continuing education assistance, as well as also we do have a couple of child care centers. And they are centers that would provide Honor Health employees kind of discounted rates. One is located by the John C. Lincoln Hospital, and then also the Shea Medical Center in Scottsdale. All right, we certainly have some generous, paid time off at, I skipped. And let's go back. And back. All right. We do have some wonderful paid time off, sick, vacation, holidays pay. We've also actually recently introduced a free intercampus shuttle. So for those of you that may prefer to kind of ride on our intercampus shuttle, that shuttle kind of goes and just circles throughout the campuses on a certain route. So say, for instance, you only want to commute to one hospital location, but let's say, your job is actually at maybe over, a little bit further away over at one of the Scottsdale campuses, you can hop on the shuttle and take the shuttle ride over. So that's been a nice benefit to employees, because it kind of helps reduce, a little bit of their transportation time, as well. And also some different types of, benefits and discounts to some of the area fitness centers. And you can find everything at honorhealthbenefits.com as well. So there's all that information there. All right. So kind of moving over into the information about the careers with Honor Health. Honor Health certainly has a wide variety of different types of careers, and I'll kind of get into that too. So a lot of folks who may think that, with us being a medical center, that it could be a little bit more your healthcare careers. Well, I'll share with you that we certainly have a lot of needs for our business support positions. It could be non-healthcare related. Even security services. So please just keep this in mind, that we could have a wide variety of different types of opportunities within different professions. So our career site is where all of our jobs that are available right now are all listed at, and it's at honorhealthjobs.com. If you head on over to there, there's a wide variety of different types of professions that you can check out. On the actual, if you click on the careers page, you'll see different careers that are within different professional categories. So you'll have a nursing category, nursing support. You'll have management, professional, admin, clerical. So some of you may have, certain specific needs or experiences that you may want to look and kind of filter down those searches in there. So that page is on there for you, so you can have a little bit more, specific with your search. I think I looked yesterday, and Honor Health has, I think there's probably around, I don't think it was quite 300, but we've probably got that 250 or so range of jobs that are open, right now and that are posted. So please know that Honor Health certainly has a lot of different positions, and we are actively, hiring right now for a wide variety of roles. So I certainly encourage you to take some time to visit, our website, look in there. You can apply to as many positions that you would like as well. Let's say, for instance, if you do visit our website and maybe you're not finding the exact type of role that you may be looking for or have posted, you can certainly click down towards the bottom bar area by the footer, and there's an option to join our talent community. Now, in the talent community, you can certainly kind of upload your resume if you like, and also kind of indicate on there what type of profession or area of expertise that you're interested in. And my team will certainly kind of be reaching out to you afterwards and seeing if there's, maybe some type of a fit, or obviously just letting you know that we'd be happy to add you to the talent community, and we can share with you different types of opportunities when those positions arise at that time for you. All right, so let's see. Some of you, if you have any interest at all and want to learn a little bit more about, Honor Health and how they've been addressing, obviously, the recent, COVID-19 pandemic and how that's kind of looked with us as far as the system, and also just some great overall resources. I added that link, onto the slide, because a lot of times we are getting a lot of those questions, whether for folks who could be interested in, a career, with Honor Health, or maybe just in general needing to know those resources. So I thought it was kind of important to go ahead and put that out there, just to make sure that you all have that information, handy if you wanted to take a look at there and see how the things that we're doing to kind of impact.
Hey, Robin, awesome. We have a question that came up. What about remote opportunities? So I know you are remote right now, but is the plan for everyone to go back, or do you have remote opportunities as well?
Sure. A lot of our workforce and departments have shifted to work remote, those that mostly can. So a lot of our business support services areas, a lot of our customer service, type roles, they have shifted to be remote. It is really probably going to depend on the nature of the position, to whether or not if they've determined to where it's, a remote job, or if it needs to be, more kind of hospital based.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Robin will be available in the chat. If you have any other questions for her, just go ahead and drop them in the chat, and she'll look at that over the next couple minutes. So, oh, you have a couple more things. Did you want to go through this slide too?
Oh, sure. This is just the slide that kind of highlights some of the different career, opportunities. So I just listed out some of the jobs that are, available right now, and then kind of our popular, jobs, and certainly kind of interested in different, applications that folks can apply to if they're interested. And it just has a little information, they're kind of how to apply, on the website too. But you're more than welcome to connect with me. And I think the next slide real quick has my connection information, and I'll make sure, here we go. And then I welcome all of you. If you would like to email me your resume, you're more than welcome to. I'll drop the information into the chat as well here in just a moment. But thank you very much for your time today.
Let me ask you something about your Facebook and LinkedIn hiring events. Are those events that, people just log on to Facebook or LinkedIn and they're connecting with you and talking to you or somebody from your team?
Yes, we are kind of looking here in the near future. Some of our hiring needs have started to increase, a little bit different areas. So we will, I think, get back into the practice of having either, kind of your Facebook Live potential, events, or it could be, just kind of messaging events on Facebook, as well as also just posting our event. So if we're doing a different type of virtual platform, I'll make sure to include what that event is on our Facebook events page.
That's great. I want to make sure everybody hears that loud and clear, because I don't think that people understand that when a company is doing these virtual career events, there's a recruiter or a hiring manager sitting behind the computer talking directly to you, right?
Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. It's a wonderful opportunity to even get to know, names, get your email addresses, kind of, make sure that you're connecting with the recruiters at those organizations.
That's right. Awesome. Thank you so much, Robin. We really appreciate you being here today. Thanks for being here.
You're very welcome. Thanks.
Okay, so now we're going to bring out Danielle, and she is currently a talent brand specialist at State Farm, where she has the opportunity to spread the good news about careers at State Farm and match talent with opportunities. She started her career as a college intern with them, then was hired in an entry-level claims role once she graduated, and then during her first 3 years, she was promoted through different levels with claims and into a management role. And ever since she was recruited, her dream job was to be a recruiter. She was able to land that role and has spent the last couple years hiring new talent into the company. She is always looking for the next good neighbor. So please help me welcome Danielle Trebek to the event today. Hi, Danielle, you must be on mute.
Hello, I am on mute. Sorry about that. I was trying to find the unmute button. All right. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me today. I'm really excited to be able to share a little bit more about State Farm and what we have to offer. And so State Farm has a presence as a good neighbor in neighborhoods across the United States. And you're probably used to seeing the State Farm logo in your local shopping markets. But a majority of our corporate roles are located within one of our 4 main hub locations that you can see shown on the screen, including our beautiful Marina Heights office that's located on Tempe Town Lake. This office is home to about 7,500 of our diverse employees. And if you're looking to be a State Farm employee, Tempe is a really great place to be due to the wide range of opportunities we have here, our vibrant campus, as well as State Farm's current dedication to remaining in the community. Just as a disclaimer for COVID, right now we do have a majority of our employees working virtually. And we're currently evaluating the plans to return to the office. So as far as remote opportunities, long-term, our goal will be to be back in the office while balancing the health and safety of our associates. And then, I'm not sure, do I have, oh, I do have access. Let me see. Here we go. Okay. All right, so a little bit about who we are. State Farm was founded in 1922, so about 100 years ago, by a retired farmer and insurance salesman who saw an opportunity to do business more fairly and make insurance more affordable for rural farmers in the area. And ever since then, we followed in his footsteps and vision of operating fairly and always doing what's right for our customers. We're truly in the business of helping people, and our company mission is to help people manage the risks of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and realize their dreams. Oops, okay. Sorry, I'm getting used to this control thing. A little bit more about us is, like I said, we've already been around for almost 100 years, and we are not planning on going anywhere anytime soon. Today, we're currently the #1 auto insurer in the US, and we have been since 1942. We're the #1 homeowners insurer since 1964, and we're also the #2 largest life insurer. A few more fun facts that we're proud of is that we're currently ranked number 36 on the Fortune 500 list. We service about 84 million policies and accounts across the United States. And in 2019, we handled an average of 22,000 claims per day. In order to provide a remarkable service to our customers, we have over 19,000 agents and nearly 58,000 employees across the enterprise. State Farm is a mutual company, meaning that we are able to stay fully focused on serving our policyholders and always act in their best interest. In addition to taking care of our policyholders, we're also very committed to making a difference in communities everywhere, and we love giving back. Just since the start of COVID-19, we're happy to be in a position to be able to give back, and we've given more than $5.9 million in charitable giving across the country. As an employer, State Farm is consistently recognized as being committed to diversity and inclusion, and we really encourage our employees to bring their authentic self to work every day. Listed on the slide are just some of the awards and recognition that we've earned as a company in this space. And one of the many ways that we support diversity and inclusion is through our 12 different employee resource groups, which have over 16,000 members enterprise-wide. All of our employees are welcome to join any of these 12 diverse employee resource groups, which helps us create a more inclusive environment at State Farm. And involvement also provides our employees with a great way to learn from and connect with employees who are either similar or even very different than themselves when it comes to background and interests. All right. State Farm really prides itself in not only taking care of its policyholders and our communities, but also our employees. So to do that, we offer an outstanding benefits package that we call Total Rewards that promotes overall wealth, encourages growth, wellness, encourages growth, and rewards employees for their hard work and contributions. As far as compensation, we offer competitive starting pay. And just to give an idea, our paraprofessional and support level salaries, which tend to be the opportunities we have the most of, are between $16 and $19 an hour to start, depending on the position. And most of those will come with a 50-cent increase at 50-cent increase per hour once an employee is with us for 6 months and gets through the training and is able to start making an impact on the floor. On top of competitive pay, we provide paid training, annual merit increases, and an incentive plan that rewards employees for their performance and the company's performance each year. As far as time off, we all know that time off is necessary to help us perform at our best. So State Farm offers a generous paid time off policy. The way it works is employees will build a bank of paid time off beginning on their first day and as they work. And this bank can be used for any time off needs. For the first 5 years, our employees accrue a total of 4 weeks of paid time off throughout the course of the year. And that accrual rate increases at 5 years and then again at different anniversaries throughout an employee's tenure. In addition to that, we have 40 hours of life leave a year and 7 paid holidays. And on top of 7 paid holidays, we recently just got a celebration day, which is basically an extra holiday that you can choose a day that's important to you to celebrate. So like it could be your dog's birthday, the day after your team wins a Super Bowl, National Ice Cream Day. It's really up to you. And then we're also given 16 hours of paid time to volunteer in the community or support education during work hours. And if you add me on LinkedIn, there was actually a story that was just shared on one of our local teams who got together as a team to support the community last week. So that was pretty cool. We have comprehensive health and welfare packages and excellent financial and retirement benefits. That there's a lot of details to those, but I'm not going to go into all the details. I'll post a link to our benefits site so you can learn a little bit more about what those are. But in addition, one thing that I wanted to highlight is our tuition assistance program. We're dedicated to the education and development of our employees. And so we provide financial support for approved college courses and degree programs. And currently there's more than 20 areas of study that are eligible for this program. And employees are eligible after working with us for just 6 months. In Arizona, we actually do prepaid tuition for Maricopa community colleges. And we also do tuition reimbursement for approved, so basically just designated colleges and universities. All right, so on this slide, I do want to note this is not like a list of our current positions that we have available, but I just wanted to paint a picture of all the different opportunities that we have available within our company. As a Fortune 50 company, we have lots of different talents and skills and that are needed. And while we have a wide variety of opportunities, a majority of the positions that we hire for are entry level in either customer service, claims, sales, or underwriting. And from there, we really have a promote from within mentality. So if you're able and willing to start in one of these roles, these are what we have available the most. You can get a foot in the door, start developing, getting a feel for the State Farm culture, and then move on from there. At this current moment, I did, instead of listing them out, I posted them in the chat box, what we currently have available. And we have new positions popping up and down every day. So I encourage you to be looking at the website. As of right now, one opportunity that I want to highlight that we have coming up soon is our acquisition specialist sales role. So if we have any talented rock star salespeople out there, we'd love to hear from you. We're looking to grow our acquisition specialist sales team, which would be dedicated to binding raw new policies, and welcoming brand new State Farm customers into the neighborhood. These roles pay $19 to start, plus commission based on binding policies. And hourly pay may include shift differential and bilingual pay, which we also have some bilingual positions available as well. As far as what we're looking for in a candidate, specific skill sets and qualifications vary greatly by the role that we're looking to fill. But listed here are just some of the primary skill sets that we seek. We're always looking for a strong focus on the customer because that's the core of what we do, as well as a heart for serving others, strong communication and technical skills, and the ability to achieve results and maintain quality in a constantly changing, fast-paced environment. In addition, just to kind of highlight that acquisition specialist sales role, we have 60 openings that we're looking to fill in August and September. And what we're really looking for in those roles are a minimum of 3 years of omni-channel or hard sales type experience. However, candidates with 1 to 3 years may also be competitive if they're able to demonstrate strong sales aptitude throughout the application process. All right, so after learning a little bit more about us, I hope that you're now interested in potentially joining us someday as a good neighbor. If you are interested, I encourage you to visit our careers website, and I posted the link in the chat box, but I'll post it again and explore. Like I shared, our needs are constantly changing every single day and popping up all the time. So if you don't see anything that you're interested in now, but you are interested in joining us in the future, I encourage you to join our talent neighborhood, which will allow you to sign up for alerts in your areas of interest, stay up to date and stay connected with us. We send some newsletters and things like that about what's going on at State Farm, and you can always opt out at any time. And there's also information about our employment process online if you explore there. Typically, our positions, our employment process consists of a pre-employment test, a video interview. So Abby gave some great tips on the video interview, and then potentially a phone or video interview with the hiring manager. And so I could go on all day about State Farm, but that's all that I have time to share with you today. So again, I encourage you to visit our website. I'll drop some other resources so you can learn more in the chat box. And feel free to send me an email or connect on LinkedIn. Those are the best 2 ways to reach me. But thank you so much for your time, letting me share. I was probably really bad about answering chat questions because I wasn't paying attention to that, but I'll check those.
No, Danielle, great. You did a great job. Thank you so much. In the chat box, we also dropped a lot of those URLs as she was talking as well. So I don't see any questions right now, but if you have any questions for Danielle, just drop them in there and she'll stay online and answer those. So thank you. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You are welcome. Okay, we're going to move into just the last couple minutes of our resources time. And so first of all, if you have not checked out the cca.training website yet, I encourage you to check that out. We are looking for people that are interested in getting some various different types of training from an IT perspective. We also have things around paralegal, Microsoft Office, etc. Some of those are grant funded, some are not. It just depends on which ones you're interested in. And so you can check that out on our website. All right, let me go through here. We went backwards. Okay, so a couple more things. First of all, we would love to have your input on this event today and our future events. If you have any requests for topics or companies that you would like for us to invite to speak, or topics that you'd like us to address, drop those in the chat. You can also email us later at contact@careerconnectors.org with any feedback you have. But in the meantime, one thing we can do is we can get a little bit of immediate feedback from you guys. So Sheila's gonna launch a poll and you're gonna see it come up. Answer the question. I think there's 3 or 4 questions. Answer a question that comes up, and as soon as you answer it, the poll goes away. And so she's working on that. When you see it, again, just when it pops up, you can just move on, answer it, and it will go away. Anything else you can, oh, she can't, she just told me she can't launch the poll today. Okay, so never mind, I said that. chat. There must be an issue with the technology. That happens on Zoom sometimes, and we're just flexible and adaptable, and we're moving on. But if you have any feedback for us, please drop it into the chat box or send us an email, and we would love to help you out or help us evaluate our event today. Okay, here are many of our corporate partners that we work with, and so these are people around our area. We're actually in Phoenix, but we're now able to serve all over the United States with our virtual events, and those are partners that we work with. Best Companies AZ is one of those partners, and we've worked with them to put together a website. It's bestcompaniesaz.com/resources. It's specifically because of COVID that we put this website together. And on there are over 200 verified companies that are looking for talent right now. And so if you, was having a chat conversation with Jason on in our chat, and one of the things I encouraged him to do was write down between 10 and like 50, really 10 to 20. 10 to 20 is a good starting point for 10 to 20 companies that you are targeting and that you are interested in. Well, go to that website, and the top 65 are people that companies we work closely with. And so we have talked to them, and we know they're verified jobs and they are looking to hire. So go to that site, and you can start to, maybe I'll give you some ideas for your target list of 10 to 20 companies that you're interested. That will also help you with networking as well. All right, so now just a couple resources we have for you guys. First of all, if you haven't taken the DISC assessment yet, I encourage you to take that. You'll get a report, 24-page report on a little bit about your style, your ideal work environment, your communication style. And so you can incorporate a lot of that language right onto your resume, into your cover letter, within your interviews. And so no cost to any of that. Also, we are doing a blog today. And so we have a volunteer that is blogging the event today. So as a review of our speaker and our hiring companies, you can check that out. It usually takes us a couple days to get that edited and posted. But this recorded webinar will be available right away on our website. Usually we have it up in a couple hours. And so either of those ways you can recap the information, but also connecting with us on social media. We get a lot of information out that way as well. So you can find us on all four of these platforms here. All right, if you are interested in any kind of one-on-one coaching, we have typically at our in-person events, we have an hour at the end for people to go and talk to various different coaches in the room. So we're trying to make that into a virtual format. You can go on to the careerconnectors.org/coaching site and tell us what you'd like. Would you like someone to take a look at your LinkedIn profile and provide feedback? Maybe your resume. We have professional resume writers from the Resume Writers Council of Arizona. We've had some questions on here about, what about my career? I'm not sure which direction to go. We'll talk to one of our career coaches and they can give you guidance. Do you want to do an interview with somebody to prepare for an interview you have coming up, especially the video interviews, finance coaches and more. So these are private one-on-one coaching sessions. They don't cost anything. Just get on that website and tell us which ones you would like, and we will help you out there and get you connected to a coach. Okay, so here's what we have coming up. We are now we just changed it, through August, we are gonna be in a virtual format. We're not sure when our first back in-person event is happening, but we're waiting for all of our venues to figure that out before we go in, and just kind of the state of our, what's going on in our environment right now. So we are committed to continuing this program virtually every week for the meantime. And so Christy Staub is coming back, the leader's mindset, your values, measure what matters, and that's next Wednesday. Health BL is our hiring company right now, but watch your email for additional companies we may have booked. And then the next couple events, we're still TBA, we're finalizing a couple things. So just watch your email and you will see, or you could go to the website, our event schedule, and you can see all of the events that are coming up. Now here's an exciting one, specific to people that might be in the Arizona. we are doing an event with a whole bunch of companies on June 23rd, and that is a week from Wednesday, a week from Tuesday. And 1 week, so yeah, 1 week from yesterday. So all of these companies are going to come on. They're based in the Chandler area, and which is the East Valley of Phoenix, and they're all going to speak for 5 minutes each on June 23rd. The mayor of Chandler is going to speak first, and then each of the companies is going to speak for 5 minutes. And after they all speak, then we will be assigning each of the companies into virtual rooms, like a career fair, but doing it all virtually. So after all the companies speak, you'll be able to speak one-on-one with any of the companies that you would like that are going to be on the call that day. So you can see some of the companies listed here that will be on the line: CVS, Liberty Mutual, Voya, Lone Care, Dignity Health, PayPal, etc. So a lot of great companies that will be this event, but you need to register. So you can register at chandler.pipelineaz.com. So the kickoff event is June 23rd. That's when you will be able to hear from all the companies and then speak with them directly. And then ongoing for the next couple weeks, the company, there's a company we're working with, Pipeline AZ. They will be working on matching you to some of the job opportunities that the companies have. So it's an ongoing event. So I encourage you to jump on the line. I saw a question up here that so I got a question about, are these companies hiring virtually and remote? Some of them, yes, will have virtual positions, but I can't guarantee all will have virtual positions available. But they are currently all located in the East Valley of Chandler. But it's worth popping on at least for that hour to check that out. Okay, so a couple other ways that we are getting content out to you guys and providing information. We are doing community updates. You can check out our community update tab on our website. We have various resources and interviews. These are one-on-one or panel interviews we've done. Check out the one on LinkedIn. It's phenomenal. There's a resume writers one that we've done. Many are in there so that we're trying to get resources out to you guys. I do career chats a couple times a week with some content, some update on unemployment as well, which I'll have an update on unemployment coming this week as also. And then the webinars, these events are also posted under our webinar tab. Thank you to our volunteers. We have about 125 that make this happen. And so today, Sherry, thank you for doing our event recap. Julia, thank you always for all your support. We have Resume Writers Council of Arizona. We have an arsenal of coaches that are just so wonderful and help us out. All right. So I think that's everything I have today. Let me just look again. If you have any feedback for us, please feel free to send us an email, contact@careerconnectors.org. And in the meantime, I want you all to know, hang in there. We are praying for you that you land into the career of your dreams. Thanks for being here today.